D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I finished Gotham Knights episode 4. You guys, listen, I want to be honest with you about this show. It's so bad that I think I'm like I think I'm liking it. It's so bad. Like there's this part in here that I laughed so hard. This show is ridiculous. It's bad, but it's so bad that it's good. Like I'm all like, what's going on here? This is narts. They're the acting. This main character kid, Turner Hayes. What a dumb name. He is such a bad actor that I'm loving it. I'm just loving the B movie quality of it. It's so funny. Like it's just terrible. It's terrible. But at the same time, I usually don't talk to like movies or TV shows, but I do this one. I'll tell you that. I talk to it because I'm all like, what's going on here? This is ridiculous. Um, yeah, we got introduced to the Court of Owls this episode finally, and that's the part where I laughed out loud, and you'll see why when I get into the breakdown. But yeah, that's all. I mean, like, I don't know what their problem is. I mean, the chick that plays Duella, I think, is her and Misha Collins, yeah, are probably doing the best jobs in terms of acting, because at least like the girl that plays Duella, she's not the best actress, but she's TV good, and at least she came, I think she's trying at least. The other people, I mean, like if they're trying, it's bad. And then and Misha Collins, I think he's doing a good job. But I've always liked Misha Collins, especially, well, I mean, I've only really seen him on Supernatural, but he was really good on Supernatural and I liked him. But like I said in my last episode, I swear to God, they got these people on the cheap, except for Misha Collins. I'm pretty sure they pay him pretty good because he's like the only name in this. But the rest of them, I'm pretty sure they're paying them in Target gift cards because they got them on the cheap, like on the cheap. But yeah, let's get into this breakdown, you guys, because I just want to get to this one spot where it was just, I was like, this is how I know, this is how you know this is like ridiculous. Okay. But before I get started on it, you guys, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. Just consider it. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just keep getting pushed to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you in advance. All right, you guys, now that we've got the business out of the way, let's get started on this breakdown. So it starts off in Gotham City, Central Park, where this dude is running through and he's all like, he's like making no sense. He's like, they're coming. And he's like, this guy's, sir, calm down and everything. And then he's like, they're coming, and see these little wounds. I'll tell you about those in just a second. But he's like, they're already, they're coming. And he takes this cop's weapon. And he starts firing it off. Listen, I just want to say, first off, he's got like this 6-shooter. I don't think policemen don't carry those types of weapons anymore. Those types of firearms. I do think that, yeah, this show is ridiculous. Okay, but he starts firing in the air at nobody, and that's not how the Court of Owls works. But him taking something that makes him hallucinate is very comic booky because. Batman did get I don't want to, I'm gonna ruin it for some of you, but in the comic book they put Batman in a maze, like this maze kind of thing, this like labyrinth under Gotham, and there's a fountain in the middle of it, and he's trying to get out, and it's like all white. I wish somebody would do that. I wish they would do the Court of Owls in live action. I wish they would do it correctly. This show is not doing it correctly. I think the only thing they've ever done it correctly was that movie that did it animated, but even there it was a little anyways. Okay, so and then he drinks, the only water source is this fountain, but it's been laced with like a drug that makes him hallucinate or whatnot. All right, now that I got that, so he's hallucinating. He's like, they're already here, and see these little wounds, those are from the talons, and then he offs himself. And so then we get Duella going through the school, which I think is just the Wayne Manor set, just done up differently. And she's being all like, and being all like weird and everything. This part was bad, her fake laughing. So they're trying to figure out, they've got the files for that Alan Wayne murder. Then in comes what's his face with a giant cake. He's like, I found this in the teacher's lounge, and it says, congratulations, Kathy. And he's like, yeah, I said I couldn't find one that says congratulations on trying to figure out your great granddaddy's murder and everything. And I'm like, oh, get out of here. This kid's really bad. So is this girl over here, the girl that plays the sister. Really bad actors. They're the worst actors in this show. Well, I take them back. This kid is the worst actor out of the show. He's just terrible. He's really, really bad. But these three are the worst. And look at her. Ugh. Yeah. So then he picks up the Talon's knife, right? And they zoom in on it right here. And then he goes to use it to cut the cake. Hold on, let me see. And goes in to cut the cake, right? And they zoom in on it there. And I'm all like, okay, the Talon's knife is coming up and everything. But we already knew the Court of Owls killed him, so they sent the Talon. Anyways. So then I can't remember what they say here, but it's stupid. She goes, you do realize that's the knife that tried to kill us and murder us all in our sleep, and you're using it to cut cake. And he's like, yeah. And so he's all like, I don't even know where to start. It's everything just says the same thing, and he goes over all this stuff. And then he's like talking about, I think it's right here where they talk about these wounds, but they said it didn't have anything to do with the drowning. And I think right here, hold on, let me see. Oh, yeah, right here is where he goes into this long spiel. Oh, yeah, we're going to keep it there with this stupid little face. He goes into this spiel about, it might be later on, I can't remember, but he goes into this spiel. He's like, I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of not being able to go back of showering in a dirty locker room. I'm sick and tired of living in this clock tower. I'm sick and tired of not being able to enjoy my life. I'm sick and tired of little whiny bitch. That's what he is. I'm sick and tired of you being a little bitch. How about that? So then she comes in and she's like, I found something. Our friend used to be a part of the Virgin Not Getting Laid Club, and he's a part of the Glee Club, which I'm all like, okay. So he sings. Watch, he'll end up singing one of these episodes. Like, we need that BS. And when he does it, he knocks the knife off the table, and it creates this little wound in the floor, which is the wound from the victims, including his grandfather. Dun, dun, dun. Pardon me, I need a little libation there. Even though it's coffee, and that's not really libation. But he's like, you guys, I found the murder weapon. So then this is the mayor's death. And then this guy's all like, we won't forget the heroics of Harvey Dent, but another person has thrown their name into the mayoral race. It's what's his face, March. This guy, what's the kid's name, Jody or whatever? Is this? Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's thrown his name in, and he's all like, and then he says, he does some pretty bad acting in this scene too, but he goes, Gotham doesn't need another two-faced politician. And I was like, oh, get out of here with that nonsense. And then he wakes up. And then if you notice, hold on, he is being blocked right here. Like it's Two-Face, because he does become Two-Face. I wonder I have a feeling that will be the last episode. He'll become Two-Face and we'll see his little half and half. Maybe, I don't know. I don't care. So then in comes his assistant, and she's like, you're wearing the same clothes you wore last night. You must have had a bad night. And he's all like, he goes, she's like, a briefing was 5 minutes ago. And he's like, and this key falls out. And she's like, well, whose key? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, yeah, you had a real good night. And she's like, now you're 6 minutes late. So then they're looking at all these wounds, and she's all like, we need to get in. And she says something about her being all like, oh, why don't you use your trust fund or whatever and everything. So bad acting, some bad acting right here. She says something about bombing something, because remember last episode there was that bomb, and yeah. So they're trying to figure stuff out, and they need to get into the Gotham City Police Department again, so they can get all the files of bodies, of autopsies that have this wound, so they can see how far back it goes. And they look at these two because they're like, we're going to use your expertise. And she's like, you don't need to get all, he's like, that'll take me days to get all the files. And she's like, you need to get all the files. You just need to put this in. It's called a rubber ducky. Quack, quack. So he's like, brought you some bean juice for the sergeant. And he's like, you're learning, rookie. And I'm all like, oh yeah, well, too bad you guys can't learn how to act correctly. He's all like, just going to return this. He's like, all right, return it. And then he runs into Misha Collins. And he's like, oh, sorry, Mr. Dent. We really appreciate everything you're doing for the city. You got my votes. And I'm all like, yeah, you go, girl. And so he breaks into, he's like, I'm in the computer room. He's like, more like computer closet. I'm like, oh, how did not anybody not notice this big ass earpiece? It looks like a bowling ball in his freaking ear. Okay, so then he plugs it in, and they start downloading everything, and it's like hundreds of bodies, but they all have these little wounds, and the last one before Bruce was this guy, Mr. Pericles. That's a weird name. Jones, Pericles Jones. Pericles, that's a very Greek name. So anyway, and he was Bruce Wayne's lawyer. So he's all like, we need to go figure out what's going down with this lawyery guy. So he's like, I need you to help me teach me how to pick a lock, because I'm gonna go. And she's like, it would be much easier. I'm going to go with you because it's easier for me to just pick the lock than me teach you how to pick the lock. So she's picking the lock, and he's all like, I don't know why you don't like Stephanie. And she's like, you mean you're not girlfriend? Maybe because last time we were together, she tried to blow me up trying to be a hero. And he's all like, you two are, what does he say? He's like, you two are brilliant, or you're something like how they're just so smart. And he's all like, if you weren't born on the other side of the tracks, you'd be the same exact person. She's like, I'm sorry, I wasn't born to a trust fund, baby, and everything. But she's, I know it's bad. It's just so bad. It's just so bad. So they go into the Pericles guy's house. So then, Duella brings in this book. She's all like, we can do some research by checking out all these serial killers, right? So she opens it up, and she picks it up to this guy, this circus performer, and he's a knife thrower. And if you notice the knives right here, so he's a knife thrower, Felix Harmon, and he's a knife thrower, and during the day he'd throw knives at women as they spin on a wheel, and she explains it. But then at night, he was the butcher of Gotham. And hold on, sorry, I just need some more caffeine. Coffee is the best. So anyways, so then and she's like, he would cut the tongues out of his victims so that no one could hear them screamed as he cut them to pieces. That was the guy. Very very, very impressive. Very impressive. And she's like, yeah, my dad would make me read this, but just to get to the good parts. But I knew I recognized those knives somewhere. And he was hanged. And this plays into the comic books, because in the comic books, they would get circus performers because they were the most agile and stuff. For instance, Dick Grayson was marked to be a talent at some point in time. But Batman got to him. I think I mentioned that last episode. I can't remember, but he was marked to be a talent. And that what they do is, so you're basically like a zombie. Like you don't, like you retain like yourself kind of, but you get put into stasis, and then you get brought back, and you're just in cryostasis until they need you as a talent. And they have hundreds of talents. Like they set in the comic books, it's called the night of the owls, or night of the Talons. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the whole Bat family has to fight off Talons because they set loose hundreds of Talons onto Gotham. So Felix has a daughter, and they're like, yeah, they got to go find her out. Look at that crazy face. Anyways, so so they go in, and the office is messed up, but they hear a ch-ch. And they put their hands up. And he's like, turn around. He's like, hey, you're Bruce Wayne's son. He's like, yeah. And he's like, what are you doing in my dad's office? And he's like, we needed to find out some information about who killed my father, or who really killed my father. And he's all like, have you ever heard of the Court of Owls? And he's like, yeah. And it says the owls are in the house. And if you remember, that's what his great-great-grandfather said right before he died. He kept screaming. And so he wrote it everywhere, which, I always wondered about this stuff when people go crazy. Why are you writing it all over the walls? Like, what is that? I don't know. I've never been crazy before, so I wouldn't understand. So Commissioner Soto, he comes in and he wants to talk to her. Why is he at the police station all the time? I don't know. I've never been a lawyer before or a policeman, but are lawyers is the DA just hanging out at the police station all day every day? I mean, is that where their offices are? It's not. It's not. But whatever, it's fine. Okay. So then he's like talking about they found this coin, and the bomb used for to kill the mayor was the same bomb. Sorry, I just need to itch my nose. I know you like the mask. I know you like it. I know you like it. Naughty. But he they found this coin, and he's like, this is the same coin that they found on Bruce Wayne's body. And he's like, any connection? She's like, we think it might be the mutants being copycats. So then he talks about how Bruce Wayne came to visit his dad the day before he died, and they spent all day changing Bruce's will. And he's like, what? And he's like, but his dad had the Bruce had the only copy. There was only one copy. And so that's why they got rid of the lawyer, because they didn't want him to be all like, no, there was another copy of the will. So then back at the Belfry, they're talking about this, and I can't. This kid is listen. I know I keep saying it, but he's really a bad actor. He's like really, really bad. Like I'm all like, I'm so curious as to who the casting person, casting director. I wonder what he said to him to like, oh, I know what he said. You give me this role, I'll give you something. Anyways, okay, so I don't remember what they talk about here. I really don't, but it doesn't even matter because it sucks. So these two are gonna these two are gonna break into the retirement home to talk to the old lady. And so she's like, yeah, we're here. Yeah, we're gonna read to like old people and stuff. And he's like, sign in. So they're gonna go talk to her. So he's trying to figure out, the March guy comes up and he's like, hey, I heard you found an old coin on Bruce Wayne's body and the mayor's body. And he's like, listen, you need to watch yourself, bro. Yeah, I can't. He's got to be a part of the court of owls. He's got to, like, and he's just warning him. So then this old lady, they come in. Long story short, she convinces her to tell them all about her father. And she's like, he brings me these music boxes. And then what's this all about? Hold on, let me just. Oh, that's the guy. Okay, so then I can't remember what they talk about here, guys. I'm sorry. But don't watch it. You don't need to know all this stuff. This stuff is like not important. I can tell you that right now. It's not important. So then she's telling them basically like all this stuff about her dad and how he wasn't a butcher. Okay, long story short, he brings her music boxes still. They don't know that her dad is still alive per se, because he is still alive. He's just he's a Talon, and like I said before, they're just basically reanimated corpses at some point in time. Like Robin, they would put him in style cryostasis, but if he died, they would just like bring him back to life. So then he'd just be like basically a walking corpse. But it's not like he's just like a zombie. He would have his faculties, like he could talk and stuff. At least I think that I can't remember. I'd have to pull out those comics and read them again. But anyways, and then she was talking about, she goes, she grabs her and she's like, he didn't you know why he cut out their tongues? It wasn't so that they couldn't hear him scream, the other people can hear him scream, because you can still scream without your tongue. And Duella's like laughing with her and everything. It was so he didn't have to hear their pleas to spare their life while he chopped them. But he's like, everybody he killed got what they deserved. And he's like, and so are you, because you tricked me. Look at this crazy, look at those crazy eyes. She's all like, I'm crazy. Arr. I'm gonna if I wasn't old, I'd trap you up myself. But she's like, they got what they deserved. Everybody he killed, they got what they deserved. And so she starts repeating the Court of Owls rhyme, nursery rhyme. Oh, they talk about Cressida. Oh, back here. They're talking about hold on, Jesus. He talks about Cressida, about how she's the only one, she would know where it was, and she's like family to him. And everything. And he goes on these long bouts about how Cressida was there for him and how he had wrecked a car one time and she covered for him. And I'm all like, okay, who cares? So he goes back and he's like, hey, the will was changed. Do you know where my dad would have left it? And she's like, let me go look. And so they realize, so then these two, they figure out that Cressida is a baddie. I don't remember what they talk about. Oh, she reveals that her mom takes pills. She's an addict. And his dad was an addict also, but drinking. She's like, yeah, they change and then they apologize the next day when they've sobered up. He's like, oh, you're just hanging out here. And she's like, until my mom passes out from the pills. And I'm like, oh, great, yay. So then he goes to take out a coin, a coin as evidence. She's like, you already took it out. And he's like, that doesn't make any sense. So then these guys, so they find out Cressida. Cressida is the bad guy. And they call, she goes to look for the will, but he gets a call and they're like, get out of there. Cressida's a bad guy. And he's like, that's impossible. And she's like, shh. She's like, hang up the phone. She's like, I hate to do this to you, Cressida. He's like, Cressida, how could you do this to me? And she's like, the Court of Owls, they've always had their hand in everything. And she's like, what's stopping me from killing you now? And she's like, I can't remember what all she says, but she's like trying to convince him not to shoot her. But he's all like, look at his stupid face. And then she's all like, I can't remember. But then, okay, so then. Hold on. Oh, so then the Court of Owls come in and look at these stupid masks. Look at these masks. They're so stupid. Look at these dumb masks. So stupid. I have a Court of Owls. Hold on, okay, so I have this Court of Owls mask. Hold on. This Court of Owls mask right here. I don't know if you can hear me right. This mask is better than these masks. These masks suck. These masks suck so bad. Look at that. It's terrible. Hold on. I'm going to take this off because you can't hear me. But this one I got in like a box set with the Court of Owls mask. I had already owned it, but I had to buy it again because I really wanted this mask because I want to cosplay. Anyways, okay. Let me just set that over here. Okay. But that mask that I just had on is better than these pieces of crap. But he's all like, long story short, he's all like, we will give you back everything that you want. You can be the Prince of Gotham. Like, look, it's got cracks in it. Like, ew, this is so, look how stupid. It's so stupid. It doesn't even look like an owl. Like, come on, guys. Man, they really missed the mark. They did it in Gotham, too. They did the Court of Owls in Gotham, and they missed the mark there also with the masks and with the talons. They just didn't do it. They haven't done live action, the Court of Owls, the live action Court of Owls. They have never done it right in live action so far, and this is just another testament to it. Okay. So, did they do the Court of Owls and something else? I can't remember. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Okay, so he offers him, he can be the Prince of Gotham again, but they want loyalty. So to get loyalty, he has to pay a price. And the price is he has to give over his friends. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. And he's all like, well, then you're going to die. And in comes the Talon. Hold on, let's get this Talon. Then comes the Talon. There he is. So he starts shooting, and these people in the background, they're all like, oh, and everything. I'm like, oh, you Court of Owls people or extras are stupid. You're even bad at like moving. So Carrie Kelly comes in and she saves him. And they go into the Batcave, and in comes the Talon, and she shoots him with an arrow and then blows up the cave or whatever. And then back at the Belfry, he's all like, oh, I can't believe that she would turn on me. I'm so upset. I hate my life. I feel bad for me. She's never going to bang you, dude. She's not interested in you. You're a terrible actor. And then he goes, what's the difference between a ZD and something? I can't remember. And I'm just all like, you have Google, don't you, dude? You're so dumb. Yeah, these two are bad actors. And then she goes off on this tangent about how she's pissed off because Stephanie, if she was born to rich parents, she would get everything that she wanted. And Stephanie has they would be the same person. And she's mad because she wasn't born rich. And I'm like, oh, get over yourself. Oh, this is so terrible. It's bad. Ugh, gross. I'm glad you were born poor. So then this is the limo that the mayor was in, and she's all like, yeah, it was locked. We can't find the key. And that's the key that he has. He tries the key out, and that's the key and everything. And I'm not quite sure what that means for him, and the fact that it was in jacket, but I don't care. And so she takes out the box that she stole. She's like, "You steal that from the old lady?" And she's like, "No, I stole it from a crazy person." She's like, "This is the only thing my dad ever gave me was this Joker card and his dashing good looks." And I can't remember what they talk about here, but she's all like, "Let's go do something." So then the Court of Owls, they're sitting here. Oh, they get the box, and they're going to get the fingerprints off so that they can find out who it was, if there's anybody on there besides the old lady's prints. And while they're doing this, the Court of Owls is standing around this Talon. And so they've got what is her earn? I don't know, but this kid says, "Can you really? Shouldn't you be a good person if you have nice in your name?" And then they find Duella's prints. That's a lovely picture. And then the last one is hold on, that dude. Oh God, hold on. Let me just play it real quick, you guys. Oh man, this is. Hold on. There. Okay. So then it's this guy's. It's Felix Harmon. And they're like, how can his fingerprints be on it if he's dead? And the whole time the Talon is all like zorgifying, and he's coming back to life because that's how it works. And he's like kind of thing. And then that's where the episode ends, you guys, because the Talons, like I said before, they're just reanimated corpses by this point. And so he comes back to life, and they have their Talon back. And like I said, in the comic books, they have hundreds of Talons. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the only Talon that this show has. But what are you gonna do? But like I said before, those masks, the Court of Owls masks, that's where I laughed out loud because it's just so freaking ridiculous. But the show is bad. It's still bad, but it's so bad that it's hilarious. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. The main character is just one of the worst actors on TV right now. I don't understand. I do understand how they got him because he's cheap. He probably, like I said before, he gets paid in Target gift cards. There's no way they pay him in dollars. But yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to end it there just because I feel like I've sufficiently crapped all over this episode and this TV show this week. But tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you like me and it's getting to a point where it's so bad that it's good? Or is it just going to be bad for you forever and you're just like, F-bomb this show can kick rocks. I'm not watching it. And if so, don't watch it. You don't need to watch it at all. But, watch my reviews, please. I appreciate it and everything. I appreciate you guys very much if you've got this far. But all right, you guys, I'm going to head out now. But tell me what you guys think, and you can go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week. I can't wait for it on my Gotham Knights breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.